Hi there, Working Homeschool Mom. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. This is Charlotte from My Little Homeschool and Charlotte Jones 24/7. And this is episode number 49 of the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. Today I'm going to be talking about balancing homeschool and work. No, it's not easy, but yes, it's definitely possible. And I'm going to give you some tips and strategies for finding that balance. Before we get into the episode, I'd be ever so grateful if you could rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. It means that it's shown to more working homeschool moms because, as you know, supporting and helping working homeschool moms is my passion. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome to the Strike a Balance podcast for working homeschool moms. This is Charlotte Jones. I'm a homeschool coach and homeschooling mom of twin boys. I know it can feel really overwhelming to keep all the balls in the air all the time. So each week I chat about tips and strategies for being a happy and thriving working homeschool mom that you can implement in your life too. I also speak to awesome and inspiring women who manage to juggle homeschooling and work successfully and find out what their secrets are. Be sure to check out my time audit and mindset challenge in the show notes and sign up to my newsletter for lots of cool freebies. And if you ever need to chat, please book in a session with me. I'm so excited for you to be here and I hope you'll get so much value out of this episode. So let's get started. Are you looking for a new math curriculum? Well, I'm thrilled to introduce our favorite math curriculum to you. CTCMath specializes in providing online video tutorials that take a multi-sensory approach to learning. Favorably reviewed in Cathy Duffy's 102 Top Picks and the old Schoolhouse crew review, the lessons are short and concise to help your children break down concepts and appreciate math in a whole new way. The lessons are taught the traditional way and not to a test. Each one of the video tutorials is taught by an internationally acclaimed teacher, Pat Murray, who is renowned for teaching math concepts in a simple, easy-to-understand way and in only a few minutes at a time. Using a multi-sensory approach means having the combination of effective graphics and animation synchronized with the voice of a friendly teacher together with a practical assessment. This three-pronged attack makes learning so much easier and more effective. Even students who struggled with math are getting fantastic results, and ones who were doing okay before are now doing brilliantly. Visit ctcmath.com today to start your free trial. CTC Maths is generously offering my listeners an amazing special. Go to www.ctcmath.com/MLH to get a half-price discount plus a bonus 6 months for free. That's ctcmath.com/MLH. Balancing homeschool and work, not always easy, but definitely possible. First off, I must just say that it's not always easy balancing homeschool and work. There are going to be times where work takes precedent and homeschooling has to take a back seat, but that's okay. Being a working homeschool mom is a balancing act. That means it's something you have to work at, and it's something you have to work at all the time. Balancing homeschool and work is mostly about mindset, in my opinion. You have to work and you have to homeschool. Sometimes there's not enough time, and often it can be really hard. So you need to get that mindset right. And here's some things that you can do that will help you to strike some sort of a balance. Balancing homeschool and work takes acceptance. Beating yourself up is never the answer, but acceptance and self-love definitely are. You're going to need to be kind to yourself in order to find the balance, or at least accept what balance looks like in your world. And I think that's important because balance looks different to everyone. Much like your homeschool is different, your work situation is different. So you have to accept what balance looks like to you. Some other things to accept are that it's never going to be perfect, which I know is hard for perfectionists. I know that's something that I've struggled with in the past. But the sooner you accept that things are not going to be perfect, the easier it gets. And you have to accept that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. And I think once you do that, it does make it easier. And then you need to accept that it will definitely be messy and frustrating. And I mean that in terms of learning, and I mean that in terms of the meals you cook or what your house looks like. Being a working homeschool mom can be messy and frustrating in a lot of different ways. If you enter working homeschool mom life with your eyes, your mind, and your heart open, you'll be able to be more accepting of the mess that life will probably be, and for the lack of balance that you're sometimes going to feel. Once you get rid of the need to chastise yourself, you can channel that energy into finding solutions. So a growth mindset is something you're going to want to practice. I did do an episode on that, and I'll link it in the show notes. The next thing to do is to lower your expectations. In the same way that you should accept the chaos, you should also lower those expectations. When they're down, you can't be disappointed, but you can be pleasantly surprised. And if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely go for the latter, and I'm sure you would agree. So where do these high expectations come from? They can sneak in from lots of different places. First of all, comparing yourself to others will definitely raise expectations about what homeschool should look like. Listening to what others believe learning should look like rather than trusting your gut can also raise expectations. Basing your homeschool on your public school education will raise expectations too. You will expect your kids to sit still for 8 hours a day. Trust me, it's not the case. And approaching homeschool as a parent-led endeavor rather than one that involves the input of your kids can also raise expectations. You expect them to do exactly what you tell them to do, but often this leads to resistance and reluctance. So how can you avoid these? First of all, you need to find your unique homeschool path. Whatever it looks like, just accept that that is your path and that it is going to be unique. And you need to trust your gut as well. We have a lot of intuition as mothers, and you need to trust that intuition, which is not always easy when people are telling you what things should look like, but it's definitely very important in order to lower your expectations. And you also need to forget about the learning that comes from public school. So, like I said, sitting for 8 hours behind a desk, very specific times of learning, working towards standardized testing, all those kinds of things. The quicker you let go of those, the better your homeschool experience is going to be. And to involve your kids as much as possible in their learning, because when they're involved in their learning, they're going to be much more invested and engaged. The next thing to do is to put in the work to deschool yourself. I think you need to do this as a matter of priority. And the reason why this is important for balance is because it means that you'll be open to anything. Because balance, like I said, is going to look unique to you and your situation, and you need to leave all preconceived notions at the door. So if you deschool yourself, it will help you to throw convention out of the window and to be able to create something that's perfect for you and your family. So deschooling means deprogramming yourself from the public school mentality. Like I said before, trying to replicate school at home is not going to be successful. I've spoken to many, many, many people, and I know for myself, from my own experience as well, that that is the case. It also allows your child the time to decompress and rest. If they were at school, they're going to need that time to move from one reality to another. And it's also an important time to bond as a family, because forging a strong connection is a good way to build trust, and trust is a good way to have a harmonious homeschool as well. And it's a good opportunity to see what really lights your kids up and how they like to learn, because this also is going to make balance so much easier. If homeschooling is easier in general, and a way to make homeschool easier is to make sure that you are teaching your kids in a way that suits them. So this will also be a time to start to figure out a possible way forward on the working homeschool mom journey. Balancing homeschool and work is easier with better time management. So when you manage your time better, you have more of it. And balance is much easier when you have more time to play with, because at the end of the day, balance or a lack of balance generally means that you don't have enough time. I have a time management course that can help you to find this balance. It will just set you up very nicely in your working homeschool mom journey. So it'll first of all help you to figure out where your time goes. And then you'll figure out your values and goals, because these are really important, because if you know what your values and goals are, it makes it so much easier to make decisions about how you spend your time and what you can let go of. And it helps you to simplify your life too, which is another big element in time management and also in balance, because often we complicate our lives because we are so used to doing things in a certain way. When we simplify our lives, it just gives us more time and more balance, as I said as well. At the end of the course, you will start to create a schedule that brings you joy and ease. And I think that's important, because balance is also very much about balancing what you need and balancing what everybody else in your family needs. So once you've done the course, you'll be able to balance homeschool and work much easier. And of course, I'm also always here to offer you one-to-one support through my Working Homeschool Mom coaching. So at the end of the day, finding balance, like I said, is not easy. and there are going to be times where you feel more unbalanced. But I think if you are accepting, if your heart and your mind and your eyes are open, you can definitely manage to find some kind of balance between homeschool and work. And very importantly, to find a balance that is right just for you, where you feel like every part of your life is getting the deserved attention. Very much includes you as well as a working homeschool mom. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Drop me a DM on Instagram or post on the Working Homeschool Mom support group over on Facebook, and let me know what resonated the most with you. It would also be great if you could rate, review, and subscribe, or share the podcast with a working homeschool mom who might need it. It's my mission to support as many working homeschool moms as possible. Until next time, take care. Hi there, working homeschool mom. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. This is Charlotte from My Little Homeschool and Charlotte Jones 24/7. And this is episode number 49 of the Strike a Balance podcast for working homeschool moms.